Okay, let's get started. My name is Kim Cullen. I'm a manager at the Children's Cabinet. Welcome to our fourth and final webinar in our summer series. If you haven't heard about the Children's Cabinet, we are a nonprofit that has been in Nevada since 1985. Our mission is to keep children safe and families together. One of our programs is supporting businesses throughout the state to examine their family-friendly policies and benefits to help support working parents. We really hope you're enjoying this series as much as we are. Before we begin, I would like to go over a few housekeeping items. We are recording this webinar, so please stay on mute during the presentation. You can use the chat function to ask questions, and we will answer them if there is time at the end. The first three webinars in the series have focused on the issues in the childcare industry and how they affect Nevada businesses and the economy. Today, we will focus on solutions, both at the state level and individual business level. We are joined today by three experts in our field. Let's take a moment to introduce them. First, we have Holly Welborn, who's the Executive Director of the Children's Advocacy Alliance of Nevada. Holly's mantra is that she's an advocate with a law license. Youth justice has always been central to her work. During law school, she focused on youth law and interned for legal services for children, where she represented children in delinquency and dependency matters, deferred action for childhood arrivals and special immigrant juvenile status applications, and school expulsion proceedings. Holly most recently served as policy director for ACLU of Nevada, where she managed a diverse legislative agenda. She is most proud of her work to limit the transfer of youth under 18 years of age to the adult criminal legal system and to improve living conditions for children in juvenile justice facilities. Our next two experts work for the Children's Cabinet and offer free support to businesses looking to implement family-friendly benefits in Nevada. Patty West has 23 years of childcare leadership experience. She is a proud mom of two boys, ages 17 and 13, and she is honored to be part of keeping children safe and families together by supporting businesses and being family-friendly champions. Sam, say it for me.
Kara.
Thank you. Has a bachelor degree in business and 6 years of childcare experience, both in the classroom and on the administrative end. She is driven by opportunities to build meaningful relationships with local businesses and identify creative solutions to support our community's working families. Welcome to all of you. I'm excited to get started. Holly, can you kick us off and talk to us about what CAA has on its legislative agenda this year and how businesses can support change?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Kim, and thank you for this opportunity, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Holly Welborn, Executive Director of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. I do have a slide deck, and we'll be covering a few things and talking a lot about advocacy generally and what we do, and how you can get involved in what we do. So looks like everything's working okay. Excellent. So let's talk about advocacy and building and its role and your role in helping to build a thriving childcare workforce in our communities. So a little bit about us. We are an independent advocacy voice for Nevada's children. What we mean by that is we do not accept state funds in order to maintain that independence. And in order for us to be able to advocate and to lobby lawmakers to advance systemic change, that's what kind of makes us unique amongst our colleagues and our peers, is that we have the ability to do that. We are focused on advancing systemic change in the areas of early childhood education, really early childhood systems, children's health, and child welfare. We're very focused on public policy, but we are also very data-driven, and we issue a lot of data reports throughout the year, policy briefings. We host different events to help people get involved and to understand the policy landscape for Nevada's children. Some of the strategies and tactics we utilize, lots of education, communications, civic engagement. We'll be launching some things for the upcoming election. C3, not partisan, totally C3, nonpartisan voter engagement. We talk about research and, of course, government and policy advocacy. These are our three pillars of work: that health, school readiness, and child safety or child welfare. We have an initiative called the Strong Start Initiative, and that is where all of our early childhood work is housed. We are the anchor organization for the Strong Start Coalition, which has a variety of different stakeholders, including us as the anchor organization, Children's Cabinet, several different state and local agencies that have all come together to talk through issues and to help us to develop policy recommendations to help move Nevada's early childhood system forward. Why that focus? You all have been through this. I don't think I need to reiterate the importance of early childhood, but just to state that is a critical point of development in a child's life. What a child has access to, the services, the economic stability, access to education, access to healthcare, lays that foundation for the rest of their lives. And they begin learning as soon as they are born. So having that, that interaction, reading to a child, getting that child set up for success is crucial from the prenatal period on. Our coalition, we have cross-system alignment. This is our list of different individuals that are part of our early childhood programming. So you can see that it's a broad range of people that help to inform our objectives and our priorities. This is a kind of a list of different early childhood legislation that we have helped to pass in, or that we advanced and maybe didn't make it across the finish line before. I think it gives a good example of the types of policies and issues that we work on in the legislature and locally. We do a lot of work in the maternal health space, a lot of work to ensure access to insurance, especially expansion of Medicaid and other health insurance programs in the state. And of course, we work on a lot of systems issues, including establishing a governor's office of early childhood systems, which I will talk about a little bit more later, because this is highlighted as it did not pass last session, but we're really hoping it does this coming legislative session. So our priority areas for policy are, we could think about it as the systems side of early childhood and then the sectors side of early childhood. So, of course, when we talk about systems, we're talking about the governance structure. Who is in charge of coordinating all of those points? Are these different systems talking to each other? Are they not talking to each other? Looking at funding streams, where is the money coming from to fund this system and services that young children and their families receive? Do we have appropriate data in order for us to see whether or not we have a successful system and what needs to change in that system? And then, of course, the sectors, getting down to brass tacks, really like getting those services to youth and families. So early care and education, health and economic well-being are our sector focuses in making sure that those services are available so families can thrive. So systems alignment, we talked about that before. Last session, we advanced a piece of legislation to develop an Office of Early Childhood Systems in the governor's office. I unfortunately did not make it out of the Ways and Means Committee, but I'm happy to report that it will be back in 2025. There's actually two different pieces of legislation where we're going to work on those together. But the hope is that we develop this centralized office that's looking at the early childhood system as a whole, not just education and care, but education and care as a crucial sector component of the whole system. When we've seen different states move to pre-kindergarten, childcare, some expansion of childcare. There's been, it's really been exposed how the alignment of all of those systems and services that kids need and receive is necessary and essential in order to prepare for that infrastructure. So this is something, it sounds kind of wonky and confusing, but it's incredibly important, and we're starting to make headway there as we grow and develop and become more efficient. So, of course, systems, we talked about the office, and then for childcare, Nevada is unfortunately one of several states that do not invest a dime in the Child Care Development Fund. We've seen a trend in many other states. While we sit here and wait for federal funding, right? We know that the answer to really filling that Child Care Development Fund account to create more subsidy for more eligible families, that the states have done a number of things to either expand eligibility or to put some money, some general fund investments in the Child Care Development Fund so more people have access. We've seen some creative things with, some shifting of funds from one account to the other, but we are working to ensure that as we move toward, a pre-kindergarten system, which I'll talk about in a moment, that we are ensuring that those children, those non-school age children and those families have access to subsidy. Currently in Nevada, only 1 in 4 eligible children are actually receiving subsidy in this state. And so something has to change in order to, we know in talking with businesses, something has to change in order to expand that eligibility to more families. We're looking at, and actually I did not edit this, we're not looking at tax credits, we're looking at business license waivers, licensing waivers, period. So my apologies for missing that update, but we are focused. We're working with some members of the legislature to take a look at the actual cost of establishing a child care center, a home-based child care service, to really demonstrate to our lawmakers the true cost of starting a child, of becoming a child care provider, both with individual licensing, facilities fees, all of that. It is an abysmal barrier. And so anything that we can do to alleviate those cost burdens, we are there to do something legislatively to address those issues. I am very excited about our bipartisan effort. We're working with a lot of business community folks. We're working with legislators on both sides of the aisle. We are working with other community partners to restrict, not completely limit. We know that there are going to be caveats to this, but to limit a homeowners association's ability to prohibit a person from operating a home-based child care service. We know that that child care centers, that model does not work for every family, that a lot of families want to rely on neighbors, have something close and within their own communities. It's of particular interest and a particular problem in Clark County, where homeowners associations restrictions are just unbearably strict, where you can't operate any kind of business. In states that have passed these types of reforms, we've seen increases of as high as 30% of capacity. It's absolutely astounding what the success rate can be. By just opening up this one barrier, it costs the state nothing, and it has a huge return on pushing these policies through. So we are excited about that one. A great piece of legislation for everyone to be involved in. And then, of course, pre-kindergarten. We are part of discussions in moving Nevada and putting Nevada on the pathway to universal pre-K. And of course, making sure that we do it the right way and build that infrastructure. Back to systems alignment. Pre-K is not happening without knowing what we're doing with child care. And it's going to have to be a mixed delivery model. That's what we call it, of home-based, school district-based, creative solutions to create more seats and work with our private childcare providers and educators to expand those seats in a way that sets children up for success. So let's do a little interactive. We're got a little Menti here. I want everybody to, you can either go to this link, you can go to this link and enter the code, or you can use your QR code on your phone. And we are going to see what you all come up with. Because advocacy can be a little bit of an interesting concept for folks. Sorry, everybody. Making sure that the responses come up. Oh, here we go.
Holly, would it be able to pop that link in the chat for people who missed it?
Sure.
Thank you.
And can everyone see the Menti up here on the screen? Great, thank you. Wow, okay, we got helping solve an issue, speaking out, innovation, telling your story, support, empathy. Empathy, I love that. I think that's, I've never really thought of it that way, but yes, absolutely empathy. Anything else? Innovations. Give it another minute. Very cool. I always love to see, you know, what the audience has in mind when we do these types of webinars. Because sometimes it could be, you know, wildly different perspective on what advocacy means. And sometimes you'll see things pop up, you know, political, you know, controversial, things like that, you know, words like that. And, you know, I'm here to say that it really doesn't have to be. Sometimes it is. Some of the things that we work on and that we do can feel quite political. Sorry, resharing. Okay. But it's not. It's about, we really can, and what CAA strives to do really is to bring people together in a nonpartisan way, in a bipartisan, multi-partisan way, to zero down on what kids need most. And advocacy is crucial to securing funding for programs that are administered by places like the Children's Cabinet, like United Way, things like that. And so that advocacy voice going in and being able to talk about these issues and express why they're important is crucial. It helps highlight important issues, leads to discussions and policies that improve lives. It also empowers people and organizations by providing the tools to express their needs. That's something we do a lot of training to help people explain to a lawmaker or someone who pulls a lever of decision making and how to message to that person in a way that they will hear it. So, you know, the politics, again, it doesn't have to be political, right? Like, why is this so darn political? Especially because this is an easy issue. Childcare is an easy issue, or at least it should be, because it's a wildly popular issue. So the First Five Fund, they administered a bipartisan poll with two different, one very conservative, one very left-leaning think tank. They came together to come up with this poll, and they polled all of the swing states. You know, it is an election year. And these issues are being talked about everywhere we see them. 90% of Nevada voters believe that parents of young children should be able to find and afford quality childcare. 78% of Nevadans believe, that's a lot, that that there should be federal investments in childcare, and that includes 70% of Republicans, 75% of independent voters / nonpartisan, and 88% of Democratic voters. That is compelling. Those are compelling numbers. I encourage you to look at that whole poll. So Nevadans want this, and Nevadans want investments. There were other questions that were asked, that nothing that was asked about was less than 60%. So these issues are wildly popular. People know that childcare in its current form is a failed business model, and there needs to be some kind of public support for childcare in order for the economy and for people to thrive. So the business role in childcare, you all know this. You've been going through this cohort. I'm not going to belabor these issues, but of course, economic impact, workforce stability, the long-term investments for not only our workforce, but what we save in criminal legal system costs, remedial education, all of those consequences of not investing in early care and learning, community prosperity, part of your role, the corporate social responsibility role. And of course, attracting talent. If there's some kind of, investment either by the business or you're running a program that has access to childcare subsidy, you're going to get a better, more efficient, hardworking workforce. So we need you. So business community, if there's anything that, if there's any voice that is listened to when you enter a legislative building, a county commission building, it's the voice of our business community, because our lawmakers know that you are the lifeblood of our economy. You are the job creators. You are the ones that are feeding our general fund and keeping people employed and creating jobs. So knowing that your voice is of paramount importance in really anything that comes before a lawmaking body. So that voice of business, of economists coming in and saying that if we do not do something about the child care workforce, our economy is going to fail. That and we're going to join in on these solutions that, absolutely there needs to be some kind of government assistance in expanding childcare subsidy. Absolutely, there needs to be alignment of systems. Let's work on bureaucratic barriers, those things. Having that voice is very important in order for folks like me to not be screaming in a room by myself, number one. Number two, it shows, that broad base of support. And number three, it's a real issue. Come and share that story about how hard it has been to keep your business going because you have employees who are struggling to find childcare, that you want and desire to create a childcare program of your own or find access to that, but that in order to do that, there needs to be some kind of, you can't do it on your own. You need some kind of ability to access programs to be able to do that. Or maybe you can provide a child care subsidy of your own or provide on-site childcare, whatever it may be. Sharing that story too helps solve that cumulative problem, because it's going to take more than one fix in order for us to meet demand. I want you to join our mailing list if you're wanting to get involved in some of the work that we're doing. You can also join some of the work groups on this legislation and different government bodies and boards that are working on these issues, and sign a child care pledge. So if you join our mailing list, this is related to NV Votes for Kids. We will be launching our NV Votes for Kids campaign next week. Again, it's completely nonpartisan, and it is about elevating and talking about these types of issues throughout the election cycle with both Republicans, Democrats, nonpartisans, uplifting the voices of our service provider community and those who support our service provider community and children in need of childcare, to demonstrate that that people who care about these issues vote, and that their voices and their votes matter. And so there'll be some pledge opportunities and a ton of other ways to get involved in that if you choose to follow CAA. And with that, there's another QR code. There's all the social media. And I will pause there and keep that up until Kim says, all right, take it down. But otherwise, I really appreciate all of you for inviting me to present today. I think I'm very excited about the future. I'm excited about next session and the work that we will do to support and expand childcare in our state. Thank you.
Great. Thanks so much, Holly. That was great information. I put CAA's website in the chat. Just when you take that down, we'll still have it there in the chat. So that's great. If you have questions for Holly, pop them in the chat and we'll get to them after our next presentation. We're going to switch gears just a little bit. We're going to focus on what businesses can do in their own companies. So Patty and Sam, go ahead and take it away.
Hello, I'm Patty. I support businesses in Northern Nevada, and our program contributes to the Children's Cabinet goal of keeping children safe and families together by enabling businesses to support their working families through our free consultation, workforce solutions, and implementation support. And now I would like to share with you a fabulous website. First Five Nevada is your connection to the state's entire early childhood system. So First Five Nevada has services and resources to support children prenatally through age 5, and any family structure or income level can explore First Five Nevada. And I will be reviewing each tab. So if you see the tabs on the top, the first one is services, and in the services tab you will find the services available to help children develop the social, emotional, and cognitive skill they need to succeed in grade school and in life. And the service categories are childcare and early education, health and safety, special needs and early intervention, food and nutrition, and parenting and family support. In childcare and early education, it provides some information from financial assistance to help paying for childcare to programs that will help children get ready for kindergarten. And in health and safety, it gives information of how to secure financial assistance to help pay for child's health care, or if a parent or guardian is wondering what kind of questions to ask their child's pediatrician. And in the special needs and early intervention service, you can find information of how to help find the best resources to determine if your child is on track, if there's a developmental delay, find out how to get the extra help your child needs. And in food and nutrition, you can learn what types of diet and nutrition is best for children and resources to help pay for food so that you can have healthy meals on the table. And parenting and family support, the last service available is classes on childbirth and dealing with difficult behaviors and financial assistance. So this system consists of an entire network of resources to help provide our kids with everything they need for a strong start in their life. You simply go to the website, you click on the services tab, and then you click on see what you qualify for, and then you answer a few questions, and the variety of resources that you qualify for will be listed with their contacts and information. And like I said before, the great thing is that no matter how much income you have or anything like that, you can still see what your family qualifies for, and that's what's great about this. It's a very helpful tool for everyone. I'm going to go to the next tab, which is the milestones tab. And in that tab, you will find information on milestones from prenatal to 5 years. It has things parents can share with their doctor, what to do if they have a concern, and some fun tips and activities to help their children grow. The next tab is the early childhood system tab. And in that one, it tells you the definition of early childhood system, which I'll share with you, is the compromise of all the programs, services, and supports that young children and their families need to enhance optimal health and development. The system includes both direct services as well as governance and support structures that enable programs and services to be delivered effectively. So in this tab, you can learn about the system, its program elements, all in detail if you are interested in that. And on the last tab there, the Get Involved tab, which is also information about how to get involved in policy and advocacy, just like Holly shared. In this tab, you can find ways to get involved in shaping and improving Nevada's early childhood system. So share this helpful tool with your employees and management team. And now let's move on how our program can support your business. This is our 5-step process in our program that we provide here at the Children's Cabinet. It's a blueprint that can be tailored to each business, and everything we do is kept confidential. First, we want to understand the business. We talk about what makes a business unique and what they want to achieve, as well as resources they can have at their disposal. Next, we look at the benefit package and policies and benchmark them against same business size and industry standards. We then give each business a customizable employee needs assessment. This survey is a collaborative effort, and it helps us understand the needs of employees so we can offer solutions that will work for each business. Next, we take all the data from the survey and the information that we gathered from our meetings and compile it into a report of recommendations of solutions. Once a business looks through the proposed solutions and determine what the best path forward is, we will support the business through the implementation process. If you're interested in more information or interested in our free consultation, there is a QR code on the screen, and that will take you to our website. Next, I will share our other program that we have. So in addition to our free consultation service, we also offer the Best Place for Working Parents designation. Best Place for Working Parents is a nationwide organization working to offer support and recognition to businesses that demonstrate family-friendly support and benefits. Best Place for Working Parents offers great information on trend forecasts, as well as what family-friendly policies are the most effective for different businesses and industries. If you're interested in learning more or taking the free 3-minute assessment to see if you qualify, you can scan the QR code and on the screen. And also, if you're do the assessment, you receive the designation, you are presented with a digital badge to promote your status and via your website, social media, and in print. And now I will send it over to Sam, which will be discussing the top 10 friendly policies.
I just wanted to make sure I took myself off mute there too. All right. Thank you so much, Patty. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us. My name is Sam Arasimowitz, and I have the pleasure of supporting businesses in Southern Nevada. So like Patty said, we are going to dive into some of the specifics on the top 10 family-friendly policies that businesses can offer for their teams. Our program helps businesses offer policies like these to their employees so that they can improve productivity, increase retention by as much as 60%, and reduce absenteeism by 30%. We're going to look at definitions and examples of each one, and then you'll see some data on your screen about return on investment. So our first group here is core benefits. These are the common policies that people generally expect, and for good reason. They have major rewards for both the business and the family. Policy number 1 is employee independent healthcare, which is an insurance plan that employers can provide for their workforce. The Affordable Care Act made it mandatory for businesses with more than 50 full-time employees to offer health insurance. But what really makes a difference is when the cost of that insurance is covered by the employer. Small businesses aren't required to offer health insurance, but they can still choose to offer things like a health savings account. Next, taking time off is critical for employees to manage their personal lives along with their professional ones. Businesses can increase morale and engagement by offering PTO, and this can come in many different forms. That can include vacation days, sick leave, holidays, parental leave, and even things like voting time. Our third core benefit is parental leave, which is time off that employees can use after a birth or adoption. Employees might qualify for FMLA, but businesses can create their own policies to support their employees by giving them that quality time with their new addition. Some businesses might choose to take this to the next level, not only by extending the amount of paid parental leave that they offer, but also letting new parents come back to work gradually with a period of part-time, remote, or hybrid work. Culture is a low-cost area that small businesses can really shine in. Having a strong, supportive company culture helps employees feel valued and increases loyalty and quality of work. But it's not really enough if the unwritten culture within a business is discouraging people from using what's available to them. So top-level employees talking about their family journeys and supporting their teams really is often the most powerful tool. Our first policy under culture is nursing benefits. By having a written nursing policy and a designated comfortable nursing space, businesses can support new families in their breastfeeding journey and make that transition back to work a lot easier. And as for policy number 5, like Patty discussed earlier, businesses that achieve the best place for working parents designation are presented with a digital badge to promote their status as a family-friendly organization and attract the top talent. Family resources have a huge impact on working families by definition, and as a result, there are high rewards for the businesses that they work for. Policy number 6 is on-site childcare, and this is a really powerful solution. High-quality centers located at the workplace designed to cater to specific needs and schedules of employees are a game changer for those who work non-traditional hours, have long commutes, are nursing, or struggle to find other care options. This benefit minimizes disruptions and puts parents' minds at ease, allowing them to stay focused on their work. And then we have childcare assistance, which is when employers reimburse or subsidize childcare by paying all or part of approved arrangements, or they may reserve slots at a local childcare facility. This also includes dependent care FSAs, where families can use pre-tax dollars for family expenses. Backup care is a benefit that employees can tap into when their regular plans fall through due to an emergency, unexpected event, or other disruption. Backup care is a really cool, flexible option as well because it can be used for things like elder or pet care. And then other solutions under family resources might include a babies at work policy or business accounts with online concierge services. And then our final category is flexibility. Creating flexibility within your business allows employees to bring their best selves to work, even when balancing things like school pickup times and their kids getting sick. Policy number 9, flexible hours, involves agreements that allow a certain degree of scheduling freedom. So options might include flex time, remote or hybrid work, compressed work weeks, and split shifts. Manufacturing companies and other businesses that rely on shift work and don't exactly have the ability to implement remote work can still take advantage of solutions like apps for shift swaps that allow employees to take initiative and create scheduling solutions that work for them, rather than having to come in late or call out altogether. And then our final policy is policy number 10, remote work. And that's great for any job that employees can do out of the office, such as data entry, software development, customer service, copywriting, recruitment, and many, many more. Thank you so much for your time. This is our contact information. And now I'll go ahead and pass things back over to Kim.
Great. Thanks, Sam and Patty. I'm not seeing any questions in the chat, but I want to give everybody just a moment in case they have something. We have these fabulous experts here that are happy to answer questions. Put my little teacher hat here and give everybody about 30 seconds. All right, seeing nothing. Really appreciate everyone taking the time to join us today and for the entire series. If you missed any of our webinars, you can still access the recording at childrenscabinet.org/businesses. Thanks, Patty, for putting that in the chat. This one will be up there. Just give us a couple days and it will also be there. Patty, if you can go ahead and start the poll. I'd just like to thank all of our speakers once again today. Wonderful presentations. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week.